You're muted. Can you hear us? You're muted.
I apologize.
Okay, Shaun, have you been to a board visualization training prior to this?
No, sir.
Let me explain the process every year that is required by state statute to calculate current market value based on 2022 sales. And they sent out a notice, which you apparently got. And if you disagree with that, you have the opportunity to file an appeal to the Board of Equalization, which the three commissioners sit as that board. What we'll do today is allow you time to present your reason why you think the application, or the assessment is wrong, and then we'll have the assessor's office present their case. We'll come to a conclusion today. If you disagree with our determination, you'll have the opportunity to file that appeal with the State Board of Tax Appeals, which convenes here in September, and we'll provide you with that documentation, whether we agree or disagree with your argument. So first thing we need to do is put those who are wishing or who will be presenting information under oath. So if you raise your right hand. Do each of you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
I do.
Okay. So, John, this apparently is a parcel of land. Is that correct?
Yes. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's difficult to hear you guys, but yes, about a parcel of land. Yes.
Well, does it help if I talk louder, or do we have
A
any-
little bit. It's more of an echo issue, but that does help a little bit.
Okay. We did take a look at the letter, but if you want to, that'll be part of our record. If you want to explain that, please feel free.
I mean, I had a conversation with, I think, two different people from the assessor's office. My letter basically states my position. Obviously, you guys know Idaho is a non-disclosure state, so I feel as though I'm behind the eight ball in arguing this because I don't have access to the data that the assessor's office. I don't know if they go into MLS or what, but I don't have access to that data. All I know is that in my research, I found 14 different sales in Palisades Creek last year. I was only able to find estimates for about 7 of them. And as you guys, as I stated in the letter, the estimate is 43.5 an acre, which brings mine way lower than what the assessors are saying. I further found from what I can tell, there are about 5 parcels for sale right now. And I think 3 of them are comparable to mine. And the average asking price for those comes out to what would make one's 54, one is 52, one's 62 an acre, which if you do the math on a 2 by 2.4 acre lot, it comes out to 135 is what mine would be worth. And I think, as everybody knows, these things have been listed for a while. The asking price, they're not going to get the asking price. So I think that further reduces the valuation of my property and everybody's. As I said in the letter, I think I understand in my discussion with the assessor that, well, again, it's a non-disclosure state, so I'm not sure where these numbers come from, but if my understanding is that the law, if the way the statute is written is that the only thing they can consider is 2022 sales prices, then I suppose my hands are a little bit tied, even though, again, I've not seen this data and I don't know where you guys get it from or how you get it. But to think that these properties are worth what they were worth prior to a 500 basis point interest rate increase over the course of the last, 14, 15 months, I just think I think that's nonsensical.
You have a copy of these sales?
I'm sorry, you said, do I have a copy of the what?
Provided a copy of what they're going to present on sales in Palisades Creek?
No, when I think I had my conversation with, I can't remember her name, I apologize. She started rattling off some prices, but I was under the impression that those prices weren't necessarily tied to specific lots. And if that's the case, I'm not sure what the relevant, I can't determine the relevance of sales prices if I don't know where the lots are or how big they are. So if that information is on that sheet, then I think it was a misunderstanding between me and her.
Okay, you want to go ahead and explain what you've got on there?
Yeah. So on this spreadsheet, I apologize, it looks like I missed a column or something, but I have, I was the one to talk to him the second time. And I explained to him that I had 11 sales in that particular subdivision for the year 2022. He was going based on dollar per acre of what they sold. So that's the farthest column on the right, is I broke it down dollar per acre to find average of what per acre those sell prices were coming in at. I did tell him that my average was up at 59,542 and that he was coming in at 58,681. When I look more closely, the ones that are actually more comparable to his as far as size goes, it looks like there's about 5 that are in that 2-point-something acreage range. And if you look at those sell prices, he's actually coming in under as far as the total price on what those particular ones sold for. And we got one, I think, that's 86,000, but the rest of them, we got one at 171, one at 160, one at 145, and one at 149. And then the second page is just that map showing where those particular lots are located and what they sold for.
Share that.
Scan it to him. Do you have an email address?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
If you can give me your email address, I can scan you these documents.
Shaun Moses 44 at hotmail.com. ShaunMoses 44.
Yeah, if you don't mind, we'll hurry and scan these and we can take a look at where they located, because we do have those on the map.
Yeah, and it's and I fully understand that. I guess the fundamental basis of my argument is we're dealing with two completely different real estate, timeframes in a real estate market. And again, I don't know what the statute says. If that's the only thing that can be considered by law, then that is what it is. But what I'm suggesting is, are we trying to find out current market valuation for taxation purposes, or what these things were worth a year and a half ago?
Well, current for statutory current market, it's 2022 sales. They do them during the year, but they can't use any 2023 sales. Those will be used in next year's. It trails the market by a year.
One of the other questions, and I apologize, I know this is a hearing, not a question and answer session, but
We answer questions.
there's clearly a diminishing amount of lots being sold in Palisades Creek. So I guess my question is, if ultimately I'm right and these things are worth a lot less, what if there are hardly any or no sales in 2023? How is it going to get determined next year?
Well, that's a little bit difficult because I don't know how many are left that are available and how many have been sold.
We generally won't base a value on sales in a specific area. This is a unique instance where we do have a lot of sales in Palisades Creek Ranch in one year. We'll generally base a value off of similar sales of lots in other areas. So if we do notice a trend in a decreasing sale price or an increasing sale price, we will follow that trend or follow what sales of similar lots have sold for. So if that time comes, and it's not uncommon for areas to not have land, older areas don't have land sales generally. So we'll base the land price off of what similar lots have sold for in other areas.
Other areas meaning primarily in the Swan Valley area.
Correct.
This one's a little bit unique because this one, they had a second division that was platted like a year or 2 years ago. So that's why we're now getting all of those land sales, is because before that, it wasn't actually part of the sub.
Well, that's all I've got. I mean, I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time. I know you have important things to do.
You want to wait to see what the lots are on the map, or?
I mean, I'm happy to look at that, but I don't see what I'm going to be able to say to refute it. I mean, it's not the data is what it is. Again, I think my main point here is that I don't think using those values is indicative of what it's worth today. But if the statute mandates that you guys can only look at that data, then I don't know what I can argue other than it's, obviously it's, like you said, it's lagging a year.
Yeah, I think that's the issue that we have here, and certainly this type of property, I suspect, and with these rising interest rates and the economy going down, I think you'll see a drop down. But I would suspect it would be in next year's data.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I don't see tax rates going down very often.
Yeah,
That's the case.
based on the information that we've seen today, I make a motion that we approve the value of the assessor. Uphold the value of the assessor based on the 2022 sales.
Okay, I second that motion. All in favor? Aye. Okay, Shaun, we'll get you a copy of our decision along with paper copies of what was put on the record today. And if you do wish to appeal that to the State Board of Tax Appeals, we give you instructions to do that. And thank you for being very pleasant.
Okay, thank you, folks. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.